Hi, team. So let's take a look at the Delta Math assignment, and I'll show you some of the skills that we're looking at. The first are factoring, and we're going to practice factoring our quadratics to get ready for tomorrow. So you go ahead and click on that skill, and it's going to ask you to answer questions like these. So the first thing I notice here is there is a common factor. It's not a number, it's x squared. X squared is common to all of them. So when I factor that out, I get x squared times x to the 4, x to the 2 minus 14x plus 13. So then I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to positive 13 and add to negative 14. So this would be x squared multiplied by, oh, and I want the bracket down here because that's not multiplying the exponent. X squared multiplied by x x minus 13 multiplied by x minus 1. How did you do that, Mr. Jennings? Well, first, notice the common factor is the variable. Bring that x squared out. And then see what I would have left and see that I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to positive 13 and add to negative 14. And that would be these two numbers, negative 13 and negative 1. The trick there is I know that they both must be negative because they add to something negative, and they're both the same sign because they multiply to something positive. So they're both negative. So, and then I'm just looking for two numbers that multiply to 13. There's only two. There's 1 and 13. So it's not that hard. So submit answer. Say yes. Dun, 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 dun. And then you can check. The greatest common factor there. I see. It's just beautiful. Okay, and you get to see some more. Let's take a look at one more. Factor completely. This is a difference of squares. It is bracket 9x plus 1 multiplied by 9x minus 1. Okay, I see. Oh, no, I am wrong. This is x squared and x squared. Okay, submit answer. Yes. What? What's wrong with it? What's wrong with me? Why do you not like that? Yeah, difference of perfect squares. Yeah, your solution? Are people seeing the same thing? Oh, it's still a difference of squares. There's still a difference of squares here. Yes, that's still a difference of squares. So that would also factor down to here. Oh, delta math, you're so tricky. Here I am rushing to say, to give you the answer. Yeah, so this one here is still a difference of squares, and that can still be factored more fully. Thank you, delta math, for reminding me to go a little slower. All right, so now let's go back to another skill. Oh, I love making mistakes on these videos. I could re-record at this point, but I don't because I want to show you these are the kinds of mistakes you might make. Complete the square to rewrite this quadratic function in vertex form. Okay, just let me pause and then I'll tell you the answer. I think this is right. I haven't checked it in Desmos. I could write this as 9 over 2 would be a little nicer, I think, rather than writing it as a decimal. But, oh, and I'm forgetting to square it. Okay, so there we go. So I believe this is equal to x plus 9 over 2 squared minus 77 over 4. How would I do that? Well, I have 9 here. So I see I have no a, so I don't need to factor out an a. So I'm going to take half of 9, which is 4.5, and then I square that. And that's what I'm going to add and subtract. I can't do 4.5 squared in my head. It's a little too annoying. It's much easier for me to do 9 over 2 squared in my head because that's just 81 over 4. So I'm going to add 81 over 4 and subtract 81 over 4. The part that I added is going to be included in here. The part that I subtracted is I took 1 away from 81 over 4. 4, 1 is 4 over 4. And so 4 over 4 minus 81 over 4 is negative 77 over 4. Let's see if I'm right. I didn't do this on paper. I just did it in my head. So let's say yes. Don't know. I got it. Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the solution. First, you determine b. It's 9. Half of that is 4.5. Square it is 20.25. Sure. Add and subtract that. So add and subtract. Remember, factor the trinomial is a perfect square binomial. This is the trinomial that you then factor. Okay, and you factor it as a perfect square. It looks like that. So x plus b over 2 squared. Where was b over 2? It's 4.5. 9 over 2. 4.5 is 9 over 2. Okay, so there, y is equal to x plus 4.5 squared minus 20 minus 19.5. Your solution. Blah, blah, blah. Mine was a fractional solution, which is just better, but anyway, decimals, fractions, they're both equally fine. Okay, so that's that skill that I asked you to practice. These are a little bit more challenging, so let's see if I can do these in my head. Well, these just ask you to find the vertex. So here, I find half of this and I square it. So that's negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So I'm going to add 9 and subtract 9. So I'm going to have a minus 1 left over. Okay, that's going to be that's the minimum is negative 1. Okay, and then so I'm going to have over here x minus 3 squared. Okay, and the vertex is at 3, negative 1. Oops. Tab, negative 1. Okay, so it's going to show us how to get to a solution, so I'll let it do that. Yay! Okay, so here I added 9 and subtracted 9. I knew to do that because of this. All right, this is a perfect square, so write it as boop boop like that, or like this. You can probably skip that line. Okay, you could just write that line, and then this minus 9 plus 8 is minus 1, and then you get the vertex from that. Remember, this is negative 3 inside the bracket. That means the vertex is positive 3 in the x. We do not need to flip the sign for the y portion of the vertex. So that's how you do that skill. Cool. Now, last skill, simplifying radicals. You'll notice I ask you to do 7 right in a row. Okay, so here, 24. I recognize 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And I can do that by breaking it down by prime factors. I did it by noticing that this is 8 times 3, and 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. So there's one 2 that comes out. 2 root 6. 2 root 6. Submit answer. Yes. Yay! What perfect square divides into 24? Not 16, not 9, not 4. Oh, I like their method. Okay, their method is they just go forward and divide by all the squares, and when they find something that works, that's what they use. Okay, so they rewrite root 24 as root 4 times root 6. Root 4 is just root 2, so that's their steps. All right, my step is to spot pairs of factors and pull them out. But you can do what works for you. The method you use, I mean, some people get a little testy about the method that they're going to use, and they say, well, my teacher taught me to do this. Okay, if that works for you, do it. I'm teaching a different method that I like better for my reasons. All right, for reasons. Okay, so 32 is divisible by 16, so that's for root 2. Submit answer, yes. Yay. Okay, do another one. 18, that's 3 root 2. See, it's faster for me to do these in my head than it is to write it down. So if you're using a calculator, you're missing out because you want to develop this like skill of just like lightning fast see the answer, and you only develop it by engaging. Here, 54. Well, that's 9 times 6, so that's 3 root 6. Maybe I'll go until I get one wrong. Okay, 81. Oh, that's just 9. Yeah. Yay, new problem. Okay, 72. Oh, 72. We discussed this one in class. I can't remember it. Was it like 6 root 2? I think 6 root 2. If I'm just trying to remember what we did in class. I can't do it. Yes, it's 6 root 2. And I'm doing that in a way that I don't want to explain my thinking because it's too weird. All right. But it works. I mean, my thinking there works. I see 25 is a factor and 5. So it's 5 root 5. Yay. Okay, this is fun for me. So if it's not fun for you, practice. This one is a little trickier. So now I'm going to have to do a factorization of this in my head. I see 2. I'm just going to write down the factors here because I got a spot to write it. I see 2, and I see 2, because that's 64. Oh, it's a power of 2. Okay, so 64 was, oh, if I only remembered like which ones. So I have to just count them. 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. So that's my square. 64 is the square of 8. Yeah, 64 is 8 squared. So this is 8 root 2. 8 root 2. So that one was a little slower for me, so I think it's right. Yay! I said I was going to go until I got one wrong, right? This is 5 root 3. Yay, this is fun for me, so I'm gonna keep going. You can tune out if you want. It might be like Mr. Jennings gave me a 40-minute videos because I did questions right for 40 minutes. Okay, 96. All right, it's divisible by 6. It's divisible by 2. So 2 gives me 48, eh? 48. So 2 times 2 times 2. This is 8 times 12. 8 times 12 also could be 16 times 6. 16 times 6, so 4 root 6. Maybe this is the one I get wrong? No. Okay, I'll just do one more. I will stop. Oh, 12. This one is easy. It's 2 root 3. He says, not even thinking about it very hard, and he gets it wrong. No, I got it right again. Okay, that's enough for now, everyone. I have to do some marking. So I hope this was helpful to show you how to go through the Delta Math and how to get some practice, how to do these types of questions. They have a different method to find the solution. And if you like their method, use it. If you like my method, use it. If you don't like any of these methods, find one, or you can ask me, or maybe ask me to review the one that I taught in class. And I'll be happy to help you with that. Definitely find me with your questions. And thank you for showing up for your learning today. Bye for now.